Morning here in Camp Massatators. Later morning because we don't have as far to go because we have an Airbnb with like air conditioning and shower. And I just wanted to document this fact. I am out of the tent. Look who is still in the tent. You don't see that very often. That's what I always say, Jen. And then you always are like, Sadly, it is already getting warm here. And the only cold thing we have to drink is beer. And Jen says no Modelo before 8 a.m. Unless you're Jen. It cannot resist the lure of my under the pantaloon area. Maybe I've watched too much TikTok. And we cleaned up the party remains, so we are officially leaving our camp better than we found it. And we already regretting just a bit not starting to paddle at, dark 30 in the morning. Still a surprising amount of debris. We had that yesterday morning and then it seemed to disappear. There are just all sorts of party campsites out here.
We have a fork in the river coming up. On the left is the Whiskey Bay Pilot Channel, which is where most of the water goes. And that's also the big shipping channel, well, the biggest shipping channel around for the tows that we still have out here. And off to the right is the one that keeps the Atchafalaya name. It is smaller, windier, so we're gonna take that. It seems like it'll be a little bit nicer, more intimate paddling feel that we like, and that is also where we have to go to get to our Airbnb tonight.
So from what we were reading this morning on River Gator, this was described as the part of the river where people actually are more likely to be living, and then that other whiskey channel is basically where all the shipping traffic went. I just wanted to capture how amazing these clouds are. We love clouds. We wish clouds would come and be our friends and stay so much more often. Instead, they're 50 miles away raining on those lucky people, and we're stuck in this soul-killing sun. We did get told that this section of the river is basically record low levels by one of the locals. $12 and this is Butte La Rose, which is where we have our Airbnb. We are hoping to get there and into there a little earlier than usual, 3 or 4 o'clock check-in because it is really hot, but mostly we just want to get off into the shade because when the clouds aren't here, it is really, really warm. Unfortunately, because of that, we are not going to get to do our usual late departure. Normally, if checkout is 11 and we have one of our rare town stops, we stay around till 11, leave at the last minute. It's just untenable out here when it's that warm. So we are probably leaving early in the morning. So our friend Luther came back, brought us food. Barbecue for me and sides for Jen because vegetarian menu at barbecue. And I am walking the boat and Jen is getting an air-conditioned ride to the Airbnb. It's actually so warm that Apple Maps is giving me an excessive heat warning when I try and walk. Funny thing is this is actually way worse than being on the water. Don't have the reflected heat or reflected sun, but the heat sure reflects off the pavement and everything. So this is the Airbnb Jen found us, which is kind of cool. They were listed as riverfront and Jen assumed it was the river we were on. Not quite so much. Once we explained to them that, oh no, we are literally paddling the Mississippi. They're like, oh yeah, we are on a ditch of sorts, but we don't know if you can connect, and there didn't look like there was any good way. We normally wouldn't splurge on an Airbnb this close to the end, but this one is a little more complicated since we have to sell the boat and get on to the next adventure and all. So we decided that this was the most efficient way to get laundry, get cooled off, and also take the opportunity to, cook in an actual kitchen.
This Airbnb has a few extra features, which Matt, of course, is getting full use out of.
Mostly the air conditioning, though. The only real hitch is there wasn't any food in town, but we handled that by having gotten some extra things to cook when Luther took Jen out for a resupply the day before. And also one of the local river angels came by and dropped us off some drinking water, which was important because there were issues with all the tap water here, and some really yummy pasta and fruit. I think she's just Googling what's the cutest animal. A quokka, a baby kitten. Oh, that's a guilty look.